atwogere ku nsonga ya teacher and people absenteeism in schools, where it's a problem. Nsonga cheziretedde abasomesa okuba nga tebakyagenda kusomesa abaana ku ssomero, and the people themselves, what is the reason they give for not attending school, and ultimately suggest ways on how we can improve the education standard in Uganda. Nga tutunuulira Vision 2040 President yatugambye we need our people to be educated. Tikitandikira ku teacher agenda kukola mulimu gwe n'omwana okujja mu ssomero afuna amagezi ago. Nja kutandikirawo okukiyingira mu ssebo. What is the explanation for teachers? Let me start with teachers not attending school. Kubanga government loses over $30 million a year paying teachers who are absent. So what is the explanation for that?
Well, teachers don't really absent themselves without genuine reason.
Yes.
One could be sick, because it's a family member, he has lost a family member. For that reason, it makes the administrators get to know, but not genuinely, just keeping aloof. So for that reason, when he comes back, it makes sure that he covers the planned work.
But let me ask you, what is the probability that the teacher is going to fall sick every week?
But they don't fall every week.
It's like the teacher knows that every Friday I must get sick.
No. And most teachers are always in school, by the way. It is just rumors that they are absent. But many teachers are always there. A teacher to be absent, there must be a cause. Just like if a minister does not go to parliament, there must be a cause.
Well, what are those causes? Because I also...
To begin with, to fit in this economy of Uganda, sometimes teachers are out of school to attend to their businesses. If you are to look at how much they are paid, the markets they go to are the same markets that other people get $1 million plus go to.
How much
so
are they
to fit
paid?
in that, they are paid at least 280. Get that?
That's
which is a consolidated payment where there is a rent,
sitting?
transport, accommodation, to name but a few. So they are away not because they need it, but just because of the situation.
What are abasomesa bangi who are teaching many schools the same period? So the teacher says
Bankuba cheyo ngali masomero ngana.
That is
in a primary, that is applicable in secondary school.
Don't have that.
No, it is not allowed. It's very tight for the primary teachers.
No, even then.
Okay, let's make this very clear.
Yes.
Teachers actually are absent at school. Don't make it seem like tuba wide is that because it happens. They actually dodge and they don't teach students.
It's true.
What are those ungenuine reasons they give? Okay, genuine. Ogandi is sick, awali afiridwa. Onatuwadde eri genuine nnyo nti baba bagenze kuba kake on the side. Probably border because we had those cases in Jinja.
Yes.
But what are those other reasons? Unfair reasons teachers give for dodging class?
Maybe sometimes they have functions that they are attached to. Weddings, plus funeral rites, introductions.
But I also think that the teachers have a feeling they've got a raw deal. Because in the primary section, we're looking at primary education here today. Teachers cannot moonlight like teachers in senior secondary who can crisscross from one school to the other. So they are somewhat disgruntled that government has not given them what they actually owe. When you compare other salaries, other organizations, people are getting handsome pays. $1 million, $2 million, $6 million. People are working for that, but a teacher is earning 200, 250, depending on their grades. So 200 cannot sustain you in the Uganda of today. However, much as teachers do absent themselves from school, somehow there is a small difference. There are programs and projects that have been going out to check on the absenteeism, and there has been a realization that there is a change. At least the absenteeism is reducing. Why? Because there are assessments, national assessments, that are actually showing that teachers are not doing a good job. Why? So it is somewhat compelling them and their conscience to get back to school. But the bottom line is they are still not happy with what they get. That is my view.
If you are going to work for 280, why aren't you doing that work? What are some of those reasons?
Well, the one reason, the strongest reason is that some of the teachers accept that appointment because they don't have any other job at their disposal. Not that they are so interested. So they just take up that job just to survive while looking for some other greener pasture around. So when it comes, they cross.
Right.
Why do you think your fellow pupils don't come to school? Why do you think they're absent?
I think they don't come to school because they are going for barriers, keeping cattle for their fathers.
Any other reason?
I think the economy of Uganda. Things have really gone up that you find they are going to look for scrap when they are supposed to be in class.
That's true.
Yes.
And some of them even go on making bricks, brick making.
Pupils go to make...
They go and make bricks to get the money for paying school fees.
You know someone who doesn't come to school when they are grazing cattle?
Yes.
Your friends?
The other thing still in line with the absence of the learners is that some parents don't attach value to the education of their learners, of their children. So instead of sensitizing them and giving them awareness about the importance of being in school, they just tell them, but for us we are not educated and we're surviving. Little know rich, and we are richer than those who are educated. So they just take it like that and they don't turn up to school.
Yeah, you see, there is a saying that a chain is as strong as its weakest link. Government has a part to play. The teacher has a part to play. The parent does have a part to play, and it's the people's obligation to get to school. But sometimes, like now, there's no school feeding program in most of the UPE schools. There's no food. And a hungry stomach cannot feed a brain to grasp at school. So some of these children are sent off to come to school, and midway they end up going to do other odd jobs to get a penny or two such that they can have a bite tomorrow. So they kill that day and are absent from school. So food, if there would be a school feeding program, I think it would keep children at school.
Right.
Because there is a program called WEZO, where a national assessment has been held for the last 2-3 years. And our findings were that children who were given something to eat by parents to go with to school actually did go and stayed in school and performed somewhat better. And then absenteeism was also caused by children who completely had nothing to eat, so they would find odd things to do. Like in Teso, schools near the Lake Awoja end up fishing to sell the little fish. In the Busoga, children were ending up, every community had something unique to do.
Right.
There was breaking of stones where the stone quarry is near. So you get pupils who are actually
So actually, omwana atatuuka ku ssomero, omuzadde osindika, and along the way the child just goes and does their own finds ways of doing. But your parents, and I don't know, I'm sure there's a reason. There's a day when your child has not gone to school, not because they're sick, or not because you have somewhere to go. You know it's your obligation to send that child to school. What explanation do you have for these numbers increasing? And a good thing, you're both teachers and parents.
Well,
there is some misleading of some other children in homes and with friends. There are those who have already refused to school. Now they are the ones that go and keep on pursuing the other one. So why do you study? For me, I'm now at home. For you, what are you going to get there?
I think that is out of peer pressure.
Now the peer
pressure.
peer groups,
and I feel it calls for teamwork.
Making children refuse to go to school.
According to the WEZO report you just talked about,
yes, please.
In the East African region, Uganda, absenteeism for #1. We are the winners. And
in the 2011 report, the highest percentage was in central, followed by north, then west and east came last.
Kati kibiche ebiri mu Uganda ebi encouraging ebintu bino that are not elsewhere, because what is here that is not in Kenya, that is not in Tanzania. Yes.
Teachers are paid less money. If you go to Kenya and you convert the salary of a teacher, it is 570.
The strength of the shilling.
Yes.
2, Ugandan teacher has no say. Even if you complain, they just keep quiet, and then they say, after all, if you want, like in Uganda, I'm quoting the government that they can bring soldiers to come and teach. So a teacher goes to class knowing that if I don't go, then there's nothing for me. You go to Tanzania. Tanzania here they teach up to midday, and they finish, the day is gone.
Yes.
This time they also go and do other things. How about Uganda? The teacher is supposed to be in class with a lot of suffering. You're also teaching children. Not only that,
And you also have children you need.
and you have got to feed
fend
them. So I feel the government is has a lot of things that it is in fact the one which is bringing about absenteeism.
How do you feel when your teachers are not teaching you?
Feel bad.
Where am I?
How? Yes, okay, you feel bad. Do you think the teacher not coming to class affects the way you study?
Yes.
How has it affected you?
It affects because when a teacher is absent, we can't learn all the topics.
You said that the teacher, when the teacher is not there, they come and cover and make up
That's what
for
he
what
said.
was not taught in time. Hasn't that affected the quality of the grades, that because you're just rushing to catch up?
Cover the syllabus.
Yes.
It will greatly affect because when they are designing the curriculum, they tell us that you are supposed to teach this and this topic
Within
at a
this.
specified period of what time? Because for the lower, they take 20 to 30 minutes. Then for upper, they exceed up to 40 minutes.
Yes.
And they tell you that in a week you are supposed to teach, in a certain subject you are supposed to teach so and so many lessons.
Hours.
But again, it will affect. This child is a young child and he has got little brain. The brains have not yet grown up. So how will you imagine a teacher will teach 4 topics within one lesson?
Yes.
I mean, you will be teaching 4 lessons within one lesson.
Covering things for
Such that he can cover up the things he has missed. So this child will not have time to digest the content he has been taught.
Right.
So it will be too much for her brain or his brain to digest and to understand.
We're looking at the problem of absenteeism, not just for teachers, but also for pupils. And it's mind-boggling that parents, tell their children, go and look after my cattle.
Teacher that I am sick, I'm in hospital.
Yes. So we need to find solutions to that. Ultimately, absenteeism is a problem in the whole world. But of course, for the East African community, Uganda we are up high, and our numbers are becoming more day by day. Well, we've got an opportunity to speak to Mr. Fred Masoro, who's a teacher at Gaba Demonstration School. Take a look at what he said, and when we come back, we'll look at the way forward. What should we do in the face of UPE, USE, and some people have said university education is also coming, where we'll be studying for free. What is the quality of the students that we are getting out? Take a look at this.
There is a common absenteeism among teachers and pupils in schools due to, one, to teachers. Sometimes they look for what to feed on. Sometimes at school, teachers don't have what is enough, so they look for survival. To children, some of the children also are involved in child labor. Their parents give them work to do before they come. More especially to our case here in Gava Demonstration, there is on Mondays and Thursdays they go to markets. They engage in the selling and buying of some things in the market and how to earn their living. We can make teachers and children remain in school regularly. I will start by the teachers. Maybe when we increase on the motivation of the teachers, they will be concerned with the work they are supposed to do at school. Motivation includes a higher pay so that they don't go to look for other ways, and then condition of working at school also can keep the teacher at school. In children, we need sensitization to parents, because sometimes it is mainly depending on parents giving them work to do at home before they come to school. Let's go and sell things in the market before we can get what to pay at school. So when we sensitize these parents about it, I think it can reduce. And we have tried it here in Gava and it has worked.